Aloha and welcome to this video. My name is Motivational Micah, and in this video today I just wanted to talk about one of my experiences while I was really high, and I had a very intense guided self meditation, self-visualization, and it was a really awesome and interesting experience, and I thought it would be worth sharing on YouTube. I've told this story many times, and it's a pretty amazing story. It's something that I felt had a lot of significance for me in my life, and it was really beautiful and really powerful for me personally. So basically the backstory is I was just out on the back porch of my parents' place. It's a really beautiful spot. It overlooks Honolulu. It has a lot of nature. It's right next to a forest. And it was just a really beautiful setting, and I used to smoke there pretty often. And one day I was out there just with my bong, and I was smoking a lot of bud. I smoked probably maybe like 6 bong rips, and I was wanting another bong rip. You know, I was sitting there and I was like, I want to smoke another bowl. And then I kind of caught myself, and I'm like, why do you want to smoke another bowl? You're already plenty high. You're already feeling good. You don't need another bowl. And I was kind of thinking, well, I want to go to Mount Zion, you know? And this idea of Mount Zion is talked a lot about in like Rastafari and reggae, and it's kind of like a spiritual space, or like this plane or this place of existence where it's a very spiritual place. And I decided, well, let's go to Zion, let's go to Mount Zion. And so basically from that point on, I made this intention that I was going to go to Mount Zion. I made this intention that I was going to close my eyes, lay back in the chair, and be present in this guided visualization. This was kind of like one of the first times I ever attempted to do this on my own. I've done quite a few guided meditations, like listening to someone talk you through a scene, or talk you through relaxing your body, or so I've done plenty of that where someone else was talking to me. I've never done something on my own where I intended to do something and I put myself in this moment and in that place, in that presence. So basically I kind of visualized myself being on the edge of this cliff, the edge of like an Amazonian rainforest cliff, where you know, behind me there's this lush jungle, this lush forest, this beautiful place, and I'm on the edge of this space. Like in front of me, I visualized a bunch of mist, a bunch of fog, just everywhere. So I'm standing on the edge and there's fog everywhere, and I visualize this rope bridge that stretches out into the distance, that stretches out into the fog, that stretches out into infinity. And basically I kind of just sat there for a while, becoming present in that space, becoming present in that moment, you know, and looking around, looking back at the jungle, looking back at the forest, and just really getting myself present in that moment. And when I felt ready, when I felt present, I started to take each step consciously, each step with my awareness. So, you know, my right foot stepping on this wooden plank, and it's a rope bridge, and all the planks are tied together with rope, and I just visualized every step, everything I could visualize, everything I could feel. I intended to feel it. I tried to feel it. So there's one step after the next, after the next, after the next. I took my time. I did this really slowly. I wasn't just trying to run across the bridge. I was probably visualizing just the stepping part for maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. You know, when I got further into the bridge, you know, I felt the bridge swaying in the wind. You know, I felt the rope with my hands as I was going around. I was looking up, looking down, looking behind. I was putting myself in that space, and I definitely got there. I definitely got to that space. I was present in that reality. So I'm just walking down, holding the ropes, walking down, visualizing each step. And then all of a sudden, from this point on, I'd like to say that I didn't really guide this meditation. I didn't really intend for all of this stuff to happen. This stuff just happened subconsciously. This stuff just happened. You know, I didn't project this. I just knew I wanted to go to a place that I know as Mount Zion that I had never been to before. I didn't even know if it existed. I just wanted to go have this spiritual experience. So I just wanted to say that from this point on, I didn't put this into my brain. I didn't put this into my visualization. Everything else just came naturally, came organically. And it was just me experiencing it and me reacting to it. And so basically, I started seeing this light, this energy ball, this orb of light that I'm walking towards. It's on the opposite end of the bridge. You know, at that point, you know, behind me and in front of me looked the same. It was on that bridge. There's fog everywhere. And I'm just walking along. And I didn't really intend for anything to happen, but I just start seeing this light on the opposite end of the bridge. I didn't try to rush towards it. I just stayed present in the moment, kept walking down. I was focused a little bit more on the light than instead of on my feet at this point. And as I got closer and closer, I started to see that this light was actually emanating and coming from a man who was doing Tai Chi. And his Tai Chi was the energy ball, was the light that I was seeing earlier. And it was really amazing to watch someone so close creating this energy ball, creating this ball of light with their hands and with their movements. And it was a really beautiful sight. But once I saw this man, he was an older man for sure. Once I saw him, I just immediately recognized him as my soul, as my spirit, as my higher self. You know, I'm like going along in my life, doing what I'm doing. But this dude is just sitting there, doing the Tai Chi, being very peaceful, and kind of doing what he can to guide me through this life. At least that's how I perceived it and understood it. And I was super excited to meet myself, to meet my higher self, to meet my spirit. And I'm talking to him and I'm like, oh dude, it's so awesome to see you. You know, now we can have conversations and we can talk, and you know, no one understands me the way you do. No one understands my thoughts, my beliefs, all this stuff. And I'm just rambling, just so excited to have someone who understood me on a much deeper level, that understood who I was, because he was me. And I'm sure we had a conversation. This whole experience happened probably 3 or 4 years ago. So I've told it many times, but a lot of the memory is not as well remembered in terms of the conversation, in terms of what I talked about. But I do remember having this conversation with him, and I was overly excited and, you know, just wanted to talk. And I know he talked back with me and we were having this conversation, but I don't really recall exactly what we said, but I was just having a lot of excitement to have this person who was me and have this conversation with myself. And it was a very beautiful thing. And I'm just kind of rambling. And all of a sudden, so basically, when I got to this guy, we were on the top of a mountain. We were on the top of a mountain, maybe, you know, 30 feet diameter, 40 feet diameter, you know, just this small flat mountaintop that is sticking up above the fog, sticking up above the clouds. And I visualized it being about sunset or sunrise, and just all the orange and pinks and all the beauty. You could see some mountaintops in the distance, out a ways. And I was in this really peaceful, beautiful space. Anyways, on top of this mountain, all of a sudden a big white, like Bengal tiger shows up, but it's a white tiger. It's huge, like 9 foot, 10 foot long. It's this huge tiger, and it has like these rainbow or golden rainbow stripes instead of black stripes. So it's a white tiger with this golden rainbow stripes, and I immediately recognized it and was so excited. I can't tell you how excited I was to see this thing. I understand it as like my spirit animal, my spirit guide or something like that. And I remember just giving it this huge bear hug, just this huge tiger, just like way bigger than me. I'm like 6'7", so this thing is just massive. I'm just giving it this huge hug. It stood up on its back legs, and it was a really beautiful experience just hugging this tiger. And so I'm just amazed and ecstatic that, I met my spirit, I met my spirit animal or my spirit guide, and we're all here collaborating and talking and just being present and excited and happy with each other. And we're talking, and then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, Jesus appears, and Jesus is just standing on the edge of the mountain looking out at the sunrise or the sunset. And I'm like, "What's up, Jesus? Like, how are you doing? This is kind of strange. I didn't expect you to be here." But I was excited too. I was excited to talk to Jesus. This was like the one and only time I can ever remember having an experience where I was with Jesus, talking to Jesus. And I didn't plan for this. It just happened. And the whole time I'm talking to Jesus, I'm kind of like, "Oh, I'm so sorry the Catholic Church did what they did, and they kind of stained your name, and I know what you did was an amazing and beautiful thing for humanity. You healed a lot of people, you helped a lot of people, and I'm just trying to like apologize on behalf of the church for what happened in history, and I could tell he didn't care. I could tell he was not interested in that. And he wasn't really talking back with me. I was more of talking to him. He was still kind of looking off in the distance. And I'm like, "Jesus, it seems like you want to tell me something." And then he turns his head, he looks at me, and he's like, "You need to treat your mom better." And I was like, damn. You're so right. And so I was in this space, I have my spirit, my higher self, I got Jesus, and I got this big tiger, and we're all just hanging out and chilling on top of this mountain. It was a really, really beautiful sight. That was my Mount Zion experience. I did my best to kind of keep it short and explain everything, how it happened, at least in my memory. I did write down this experience after it happened, and I have told it probably a couple dozen times to different people. And for me, it was a really beautiful experience. I was really high. This is the only time I went into like a very direct, intentional, self-guided meditation where I had the intention. I said I wanted to go to Mount Zion. I said I wanted to be present in this moment and have this experience. And I did. And I had this beautiful experience. And so much of it just came naturally. Like, I didn't intend to meet my spirit. I didn't intend to meet the tiger. I didn't intend to meet Jesus. They just popped up naturally. It was this beautiful experience where, although I had the guided intention, things happened naturally. And it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. I've never had a meditation like that or visualization like that ever again. I'm sure I could do it. I'm sure even without being high. But I do feel like being high helped me in that space and in that moment. But yeah, it's pretty much my story. I hope you enjoyed it. I make a video every day, and at this point I'm gonna kind of start talking a little bit more about different experiences I had and different experiences that kind of shaped me into the person I am today. And so yeah, my name is Motivational Micah. I make a video every day. You can go check out my channel, you can go check out my videos. I have a whole bunch of them. But as always, much love, much aloha. Thank you for watching this video. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful life. I love you, I believe in you, I support you, I appreciate you, and I wish you the best in this life. Mahalo for watching this video, and have a great day. Aloha.